Hi everyone, and thanks for being with me. There's somebody who just needs more and more attention as time goes by, particularly when he talks about racist issues. It's Andrew Bolt. Here's more in a moment of what he has to say. Now, Andrew decided that because there's a lot of discussion around racism in Parliament at the moment, particularly concerning our friend Peter Dutton, that it was important for him to find something, just a little something, that he could talk about that highlights that racism is there, out there in the community, and that, as this man always states, it's always about Indigenous people. So if we're not attacking Palestinians, if we're not attacking people from other countries who are migrating to Australia, there's always First Nations people, according to Andrew Bolt. So none of this displays his racism, because how dare we call him a racist? Because if you call him a racist in this country, you're likely to be sued, particularly if you're noteworthy. Fortunately, I'm not. But nevertheless, this is Andrew Bolt's take, and we'll have a look at... and now you just tell me what you think of what this man is saying about racism in Australia. It is the most bizarre clip I've ever taken. There have been some crazy ones of Andrew Bolt before, but this, I guess, has to be the craziest of them all.
First, and before we get to Peter Dutton and the Albanese government's attempts today to gaslight him and smear him as a racist, let's talk about racism. Real racism. The racial apartheid pushed by Labor as a matter of policy. Years ago, Labor did know what racism was. It fought the apartheid in South Africa, where you got signs like this: non-white shop, a shop for just blacks.
Now, you've got to follow this, because I can't. I don't understand. I think basically he's trying to say that we now have an apartheid which is against white people, whereas obviously apartheid was against blacks. This is what he's now saying, based on this one simple, stupid conclusion.
In Indians, they weren't allowed in shops for whites. Well, last week a viewer saw a sign just like that in Canberra, under the Labor Greens ACT government, and under the Albanese government too. It was this sign at a Canberra hospital: Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander lounge for Aborigines only. Why? Why are we separating people by race like this in a public hospital for all Australians of all races, paid for by Australians of all races? Now it gets even worse, or more farcical. This public hospital, Canberra Hospital, also offers an apartheid menu.
So let's just think about that for a moment. So there's this one hospital. Now, I don't know what are the numbers in terms of Aboriginal people that attend this hospital. I don't know the criteria for providing allowance specifically for them. It could be, and this is just a shot in the dark, it could be because Aboriginal people have been receiving horrific racial slurs made against them when they come into this hospital. So the Andrew Bolts of this world, who would have been denigrating these people, has meant that a specific area has been provided for them. To me, that makes sense. And there may be some cultural practices that are really important for these Indigenous people in the Canberra community that be upheld. Who knows? Because I can tell you what, Andrew Bolt doesn't, because his attitude, his beliefs, and the things that he says and does indicates that there are degrees of prejudice. Let's put it that way. And they certainly, in my view, need to be called out.
Just for Aborigines and Torres Strait Islanders. There is kangaroo stew, for instance, and barramundi in sweet chilli sauce with creamed potatoes and vegetables, which actually doesn't sound quite Aboriginal to me. The hospital says this menu is available to people who identify as being Aboriginal and or Torres Strait Islander. It's not for whites and Asians. You've got to ask the staff to get it. Now, how on earth does the ACT Labor government and the Albanese Labor government justify funding this apartheid, this kind of state racism, to divide us by race, to care for us by race, even to feed us by race.
Okay. It's fucking pathetic, let's put it simply, that he highlights this. Now, we don't know the reasons why. I would imagine there are specific reasons, but to refer to it as an apartheid process is ludicrous and stupid and racist at its best. And that's exactly who Andrew Bolt is, unfortunately, and he continues to slog away at these notions of dividing us. He is a Labor tool, to put it mildly, and we need to call him out for what he is, because none of it is helpful, but it's all verified and validated by Murdoch Press, because they allow him to continue with this shit. So just remember to subscribe to my channel, notify me of any comments that you might have, because I'm sure that some of you will, and for us to be continually monitoring what's happening in this particular space in relation to racism, separating people, dividing the country, pitting one group of people against another. It's terrible, absolutely terrible. But it seems to be becoming more and more infectious, and that's the issue that actually concerns me. So let me know in the comment section below. In the meantime, take care, look after yourselves, and more importantly, be safe.